phenomenal best basketball player right now, this side of anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Caitlin Clark.
She's the only athlete alive who can shatter viewership records, sell out every arena she steps into, feed 3 million people through her own foundation, and still trend worldwide in a sport she doesn't even play professionally. Caitlin Clark doesn't take an off-season. She builds one. Because while most players rest, she rewires the system. Every week, every headline, every unexpected moment seems to orbit around the same gravity. One woman whose mix of drive, precision, and humility continues to pull fans, brands, and entire leagues toward her. And the crazy part, she's just getting started. When Caitlin Clark first put on that black and gold Iowa jersey, people knew she could shoot. They didn't know she'd turn college basketball itself into a primetime phenomenon. From her very first season, she was rewriting the box score. She didn't just lead the nation in points, she led in assists too. She dropped 41 in an NCAA tournament game, walked off smiling, and still looked like she could play another quarter. By her senior year, arenas that barely filled before were selling out days in advance. The national championship game she played in drew nearly 19 million viewers, making it the most watched basketball game, men's or women's, in decades. And she did it all with a playing style that felt impossible not to watch. Deep threes that broke the camera angles, no-look passes that made defenders freeze, and a competitive fire that turned every possession into theater. When the WNBA draft came around, it wasn't a question of if she'd go first overall. It was how fast her name would explode the ratings. And it did. The Indiana Fever selected Caitlin Clark, and within weeks, the franchise's attendance, merchandise, and social following multiplied tenfold. Suddenly, every away game felt like a home game for her. Opposing teams moved their matchups into larger arenas just to handle the demand. That's when everyone realized she wasn't just a player, she was an ecosystem. But Caitlin's story doesn't stop with numbers or applause, because behind every sold-out crowd, there's something quieter, and in some ways even more powerful. The work she's doing when the cameras aren't around. It's called the Caitlin Clark Foundation, and it's not a vanity project. It's a machine for good, built on 3 simple pillars that define her: education, nutrition, and sport. It started small, with a few local donations in her hometown of West Des Moines, but within 2 years it grew into a regional force, partnering with major Midwest organizations like Hy-Vee, Feeding America, Musco Lighting, and Scholastic. In early 2025, one campaign alone raised over $300,000, providing more than 3 million meals for struggling families across Iowa and surrounding states.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a Des Moines Police welcome for the amazing number 22, Caitlin Clark!
3 million. That's not charity, that's infrastructure. The idea was genius in its simplicity. When shoppers at local Hy-Vee stores went to pay, they were asked a small question. Would you like to round up your purchase to support the Caitlin Clark Foundation? Pennies turned into dollars and dollars into hope. Every cent went directly to local food banks. No middlemen, no fees. A small question turned into a massive movement. Her words at the time said it best. Nutrition has been instrumental to my success as an athlete. By providing meals for families in need, we can help make sure every child has the energy they need to succeed. This wasn't a photo op. Caitlin personally showed up to deliver checks, talk to kids, and thank volunteers. In 2024, her foundation also distributed 22,000 books to schools across the Midwest, and later teamed up with Scholastic to donate another 1,000, promoting literacy and the joy of reading. She even partnered with Mossy Oak and Musco Lighting to build mini pitches, small durable basketball courts in underfunded communities, so kids could have safe spaces to dream. When those kids lined up to meet her, it wasn't the WNBA star they saw. It was someone who looked them in the eyes and said, "Dream big," because she did, and it worked. That's the quiet power of Caitlin Clark. She turns inspiration into logistics. But here's where her story takes a twist no one expected. Just when the season ended, and everyone assumed she'd fade into off-season mode, her name started trending again, this time on a golf leaderboard. The RSM Classic Pro-Am was supposed to be just another friendly tournament. Pros, celebrities, light banter, good vibes. Then someone noticed a new name on the tee sheet, Caitlin Clark.
about it in a previous video how this Pro-Am event originally wasn't even going to be televised, but there were so many fans who were emailing the organization saying, how can we watch Caitlyn? Can we come to the event? Can you live stream it? All of these things. And it ended up being put on television. And that was great. Fans were really excited about that. There was so much buzz online. She was trending on Twitter, all of the things. And the LPGA was promoting the crap out of this event. And they also did something really smart by pairing her up with their currently #1 golfer in the world.
What happened next looked like a glitch in the sports matrix. Tickets that had been sitting unsold vanished overnight. Crowds flooded in, not in golf polos, but in fever jerseys. By sunrise, thousands were lined up to watch a basketball player pick up a driver. Even Tiger Woods was there, and by the time Caitlyn took her first swing, the energy felt electric.
Yeah. All roads lead to the Annika Pro-Am. Trust me, all roads, all cameras, all people will be tuned in for the Annika Pro-Am. Why? To see the GOAT, Caitlyn Clark, take over the show.
She smiled, took her stance, and let it rip. The sound echoed across the fairway, clean, crisp, perfect. The ball flew straight down the middle, 270 yards. Tiger's eyebrows went up. Steph Curry, watching online, tweeted, "Caitlyn Clark might just be better than me at this point." Within minutes, Caitlyn Clark golf was trending worldwide. She wasn't just playing well, she was dominating. At hole 7, she hit a near-perfect approach shot that rolled to within inches of the cup. By the end, she'd gone 13 under par, breaking the event's Pro-Am record. For perspective, that's something even professional golfers rarely achieve.
To me, that's inspirational, whether it's, just listening to Caitlyn, her work ethic and what's important to her. And I mean, she's just starting, her round of golf, her journey.
Tiger Woods later told reporters, "That was one of the cleanest, most confident swings I've ever seen from someone outside pro golf." That comment alone sent shockwaves through the sports world, because Tiger doesn't hand out praise lightly. Within days, Caitlyn had signed 3 new sponsorship deals, one with a golf apparel brand, another with a high-end watch company, and a third with a beverage giant launching a focus campaign. Combined, those endorsements were reportedly worth over $15 million. Think about that. One weekend, 3 deals. More money than most WNBA players earn in their entire careers. And yet, when asked about it afterward, Caitlyn just laughed. "I didn't even know what the record was," she said. "I was just having fun." That's what separates her from everyone else. She doesn't chase moments. Moments chase her.
Unlike the W, just the presence alone of Caitlyn Clark, they understand what that could do for their sport. They understand that let's say 1,000 new eyeballs, 10,000 new eyeballs show up. If only they could get a fraction of those new eyeballs to become fans, they understand that's a win.
By this point, the Caitlyn Clark effect had become more than a phrase. It was a measurable phenomenon. The WNBA saw a 250% spike in ratings after her debut. Indiana Fever merchandise broke sales records. Even away games doubled attendance figures. Everywhere she went, viewership followed. But instead of capitalizing selfishly, Caitlyn handled it like a pro who understood the long game. She didn't feud online. She didn't dunk on critics. She smiled, showed up, and let her work talk. It's the same approach that turned her NIL career in college into one of the most successful branding stories ever.
When Clark's name affiliated with the event, they know the pub that is going to bring and everything that's going to come with it. So obviously they are going to do what's best for business. Unlike the WNBA, let's be clear here. It's just so funny, and I said this in a video before.
Before she even entered the WNBA, she was already one of the top NIL earners in America, thanks to partnerships with Nike, State Farm, Gatorade, Bose, and Hy-Vee. Her social following grew organically, not because she chased trends, but because she stayed authentic. Every time Caitlyn Clark signs something, whether it's a basketball or a sponsorship contract, it feels earned, not inflated, and that's rare. Even brands that once ignored women's sports are now designing campaigns around her. Executives are literally asking, "What's the Caitlyn angle?" That's the kind of cultural leverage that used to belong only to Serena, Tiger, or LeBron. It's no longer a question of if she's the face of women's basketball. It's how far beyond basketball she can take it.
NBA, because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all
Behind the applause, there's also leadership, the kind that's harder to quantify but easier to recognize. At every Fever game, before tip-off, Caitlin stands in front of a sea of young fans, signing sneakers, jerseys, notebooks, anything they hand her. After losses, she does the same. No shortcuts, no skipping the line. That's not PR training, that's personal principle. Ask her teammates, and they'll tell you, she leads by tempo, not talk. Practice intensity, game focus, community involvement. It's all the same standard.
of these places, every media outlet is covering this, and you don't say anything. That's what we were talking about this whole season. We were correct. The fans that were saying that the WNBA seems to be trying to quiet the noise of Caitlin Clark, not letting her shine to her full.
And while some critics in the league spent the season dissecting her spotlight, Caitlin never bit back. She understood something fundamental. Success doesn't need validation. It needs consistency. That's why her foundation's work keeps expanding. That's why school principals in Iowa still get personal thank you notes after donation drives. That's why brands keep calling, fans keep showing, and ratings keep climbing. Because this isn't a story about attention. It's a story about execution.
Business is booming when Caitlin is involved. Pro-Am tickets are $25, and event organizers saw demand increase 1,200% for the Pro-Am because of Clark, one of the most popular figures in the sports world. 1,200%. Oh, it's because of me too. No, it's not. No, it's not.
After that Pro-Am, sports networks couldn't stop replaying the footage. Tiger's reaction, the swing, the crowd losing it. It looked like a movie trailer for a crossover universe where athletes redefine what multisport means. But Caitlin didn't treat it as a spectacle. She stayed late after the round, signing autographs, taking selfies, and laughing with kids who couldn't believe the same person who drained 30-foot threes was now giving golf tips. And she never made it about money or fame. When asked if she'd ever consider joining the LPGA full-time, she just smiled. Let's just say I'm keeping my options open. Translation, if she wants to, she'll do it, and probably win. Even Tiger seemed to recognize that spark. He was seen chatting with her privately afterward, reportedly offering to train with her sometime. If true, that's not just respect, it's mentorship from the greatest golfer alive to a once-in-a-generation competitor. That's how far her impact stretches now. She's no longer just inspiring young hoopers. She's inspiring athletes across every sport to think bigger, play harder, and give back more. When Caitlin Clark plays, something happens that data can barely measure. People who've never watched a women's game start watching. Families bring their kids to see her live because they want them to remember what excellence looks like. And even skeptics, the ones who thought the hype was temporary, end up clapping by the end of the night. That's the ripple effect of authenticity. It's not a PR machine. It's not scripted. It's the natural result of someone who makes greatness look normal. Every foundation milestone, every swing, every assist, it all folds into one idea, that success without substance is noise, and Caitlin Clark is the opposite of noise. She's harmony, a balance between fierce competition and real compassion. If you're a young athlete watching her right now, here's the real playbook. Outwork everyone, not for attention, but because discipline compounds. Use your platform to serve, not to posture. Stay curious, whether it's golf, media, or mentorship. Try things that scare you. Stay grounded. Fame fades, but character compounds. Win with grace. Lose with purpose. Give with heart. That's what she's doing, and she's doing it in real time. In an era where attention is currency, Caitlin Clark earns it the old-fashioned way, through performance, consistency, and humanity. She's not chasing headlines. She's shaping them. The off-season isn't supposed to build legends, but Caitlin Clark doesn't follow blueprints. She writes them. She's feeding families, rewriting records, and making every sport feel exciting again. Not because she has to, because she can. So when you hear that phrase, beyond buckets, remember, it's not a slogan, it's the truth. Caitlin Clark isn't just changing the game. She's changing what greatness looks like when the scoreboard's off.